What messages we need to know about self-love today? What messages we need to know about self-love today? What messages we need to know about self-love today? Healing. Got 3 right on the dot. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those. Away. Okay. So first here we have internal explorer. We have life force energy. Ooh. And 3 we have realm bridger. Awesome. So these are the 3 cards. Gonna hold them up to the camera. First one, internal explorer. Life force energy. Realm bridger. So I give you some time to meditate on those cards. Think about what comes to mind. Already stuck out to you the first time you saw these cards. You know, I know my card. I didn't know. I love how beautiful the card I'm looking at looks. All of them are actually very beautiful. There's no wrong answer. So right now I'm gonna move on to pile 1. So those of you who chose pile 1, the internal explorer. This beautiful card is so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Look at the purple. Purple really stands out to me. It matches my nails. The purple and how her body is, it's actually blending in with the pictures and everything. So I'm gonna read the description from the book. For this card, Internal Explorer, is the number 32, which could break down to 5. So some type of, maybe it's some type of, some type of transformation or change going on and internally exploring yourself. So I'm going to use the Beyond LEMURIA guidebook to read. All right, 32. I opened up to 23, so that should be good. So 32, Internal Explorer. Flow state, assessing infinite information by going within. Wisdom from the collective consciousness. Theta waves, channeling, breaking free from limiting intellect, creative boldness, being guided by the divine spark. You already hold the keys. Awesome. Alrighty. When we stop looking outside ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources. When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multi-dimensional wisdom from the collective consciousness. Have you ever felt in total flow? Perhaps when speaking about something profound that you have total faith in, you have heard your words articulately unfold. At other times, when you have doubt, you must watch your words and they come out disjointed, only hinting at what you are trying to say. In my journey as an artist, I found I was able to paint more skillfully than I imagined when I stopped thinking or tightly controlling my images into being. This was especially so when I started out. By getting out of my own way, I could get into a flow that felt like something else was guiding my paintbrush. This is known as flow state, and it is said to be the optimal state for higher function. When in deep flow state, it can seem as if something else is guiding me. Perhaps it is my higher self. Perhaps people often ask whether I have a strong concept of what I would paint before I start. I do have a half-formed idea, but the state I find myself in when I paint allows the rest of the image to form itself. I don't try to control it too much. When I allow myself to really go there and listen to the whispers that guide my journey, it gives more soul to my pieces. These are the creations that people most resonate with, the ones that prompt a mysterious sense of remembering. I am dyslexic, and I do not think of myself as an author, so the prospect of writing the text for this guidebook could have been quite overwhelming. But I was guided to drop into the vibration of the card and trust that the words would flow. I reached a deeper part of myself where I somehow had access to information that was far more vast than my mind could intellectualize. I'm going to read that over. I reached a deeper part of myself where I somehow had access to information that was far more vast than my mind could intellectualize. The same place my visual artwork comes from. You may have read quotes about being far more amazing than you realize. There is an infinite part of us that is God, or whatever you wish to call it. And when we attune to our divine state, we really can do anything we apply ourselves to. Everything is there within you, waiting for expression. The divinatory meaning of this card: you are invited to explore the state of flow. Flow is the word. This card is also a reminder that you are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. You have the permission you felt you needed. So go within and explore, internal explorer. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. Oh, that's beautiful. So let's remember the flow. Let's remember that everything and everyone is not perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You can let your intuition guide you. And hopefully that something in that message resonated. You know, her stories. When I read this card the first time, I really liked that she just admitted, I'm dyslexic, and I don't think I'm an author. And I feel the same way about stuff like this too. For a long time, I didn't think I could read, really well or out loud or, with character or anything like that. But God has been showing me that I am that, and I used to work in a place with kids, where I had to read to them, and I remember every time I read a book, I was so nervous, every time. So, I'm thankful for you for even joining me here, and I hope that we, are able to, take what we can from each other and learn from this author, learn from me as your reader, and thank you so much for trusting me with that. So I'm going to use my Hermetic Tarot deck. I used to be scared of this deck, literally, because it's black and white, it has skeletons and and stuff that I don't normally resonate with. And I really hate that. So I'm gonna be on the camera, shuffling it. I'm gonna try as much as I can to put it all on the camera, but bear with me if I get lost or anything. But yeah, and then the more I start working with this deck, just for my own readings and stuff like that, I started to actually love it. I actually like this deck a lot. So yeah, and when I shuffled the cards, I don't know if you guys noticed, I shuffled the cards with the intention of showing us self-love messages and healing messages, and the first card delivered just that. We need to go and stop getting in our own ways, let it be, let's just go with the flow. So I also like that the message didn't focus so much on what we did wrong, or what we're not doing and what we need to do. It just, to me, it seems like it's guidance. But, everybody has different perspectives. So I'm going to clarify this card with that. And I'm going to get 3 cards or 3 groups of cards if more than one card comes out. Normally, when more than one card comes out, if it's no more than 3, I'll take all 3. But I'm going to shuffle them with the intention that the first card is past energy, the second card is present energy, or the second group, sorry, and the third group is future energy, or what we're walking into. Past and present, normally to me, they seem like the same thing because we're always looking at our past, we're always healing our past. But the past could also give you insight to what you overcome and what you worked on and what you're moving out of. So that could be a victory. And then the present is currently telling you where you are, and the present card could give bad news, but the thing is, we're working on it, and now it's brought up into our awareness. So, and then we know what we need to do to move towards our future. So that's how I look at it, and that's why I want to pull the cards in that manner. Okay, so what does pile 1 for the internal explorer have to know about their past when it comes to their healing, self-love journey? Any trauma, anything that you want to... Oh, all right. Just take that one. 5 of Wands. Oh, I like when I see that reversed because it's the Lord of Strife. And 5 of Wands is about, going through strife and struggle and, fighting, it's a lot of fight and war and stuff like that. So in the past, you may have experienced that and you're moving out of it. So good for you. All right. So what presently can we learn about our self-love and healing journeys? 3 of Swords. So right now, we're probably healing our hearts. We're going through a heartbreak, breakup, divorce, maybe, I don't know. But it's the Lord of Sorrow. And that's why I love these cards, because it tells me. And I kind of have because of my experience with tarot, I do have a good grip of the meanings of the cards. But it's good to know and, go as you go. But yeah, so... Normally the 3 of Swords represents a heartbreak. Maybe, right now you're currently going through a heartbreak, and what I'm gonna do is read the description for the present energy, since that is something that we're focusing on right now. So maybe it has some information in it. I see I'm not really that good at hieroglyphics right now. I only know some of them. But I do see the moon in this card, like the moon, so maybe mother healing energy or, nurturing yourself and stuff like that. So right now, that could be what you're going through. Alrighty, for last group, the future. What can they have to look towards the future when it comes to healing their internal explorer side? Self-love, any messages you have for us? Thank you so much. So much for the messages you have delivered. 7 of Swords. Ooh, okay. unstable effort. So that could be good or bad, because now we know what we're looking towards. Maybe if we don't work to heal this sorrowness in our hearts, we're just heading into, more deceit, more unstable effort, because you're not grounded in healing that heart. So, but I'm going to read the present energy just so we know. And so the set, and I also see the Aquarius sign at the top of this card, in which always rules communication. So maybe being able to talk about this stuff, expose it, maybe, that'll help. And then the moon again, I see, or it reminds me of the Taurus horns too. So yeah, so you could be dealing with the Aquarius or someone like a Cancer or something like that. And the same with the Three of Swords, it's the heart, so maybe even Leo energy, because Leo rules the heart. But yeah, so I'm going to read the book. Thank you so much for being with me thus far. I'm so thankful. So Three of Swords, I'm going to read it really quick. I'm just going to read the meaning. I'm not going to read everything. Okay. It got a lot to say about the Three of Swords, so I'm glad we're reading it. So the meaning. I was gonna say Libra, so that's the Saturn sign, and this is the Libra sign, just so you guys know. All right. So the meanings are disruption, interruption, separation, absence, quarreling, sowing of discord, strife, mischief, sorrow, tears, mirth and evil pleasures, singing, faithfulness and promises, honesty in money transactions, selfishness, dissipated yet sometimes generous. So I'm going to read the reversal just to know, like, what can you do to probably get out of it, or thinking about, oh, dang, it's even more horrible. But deceitful, the reverse meaning is deceitful, distraction, confusion, disorder, mistake, error, and mental anxiety. So, yeah, right now, I want to send a hug to you guys. Power One, I send a virtual hug and a kiss and all the comfort that you need right now during this time. If it means that you're going through a lot of heartbreak and a lot of discord, quarreling, fights with people. So Saturn is ruled by Aquarius and Capricorn. So it could be that you're dealing with a Capricorn, you're dealing with Aquarius or a Libra, hopefully not a Libra. Libras are loving, and they're ruled by Venus, so they gotta be loving. So, that's what energies we're looking towards right now. And now for the last bit, I'm gonna pull a self-love card. Self-love card. This comes from a How to Love Yourself deck. This card already, this deck is already speaking. Okay. I didn't look at the cards on the floor, but because when I got up, I saw this card on top, and you guys may have seen it too. But it says, I release all feelings of negativity and guilt. I release all feelings of negativity and guilt. Whatever. It's weird, but okay. So with that, we have on the back of this card, which I like. I normally don't read the back, but We create habits and problems to fulfill a need. When I can find a positive way to fulfill the need, I can release the problem. Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that this message brought you some love, strength, encouragement, some type of guidance for you when you continue on your journey. Put that in there. It's because you want to screenshot it. You may not be able to, but yeah. So I hope it helps you on your healing journey and give you more insight of what to look out for, or maybe some understanding of what's going on. So thank you again so much for your time, your patience, your love, support. I love it, and I thank you, and I'm sending many blessings and love to you, and I ask that you keep letting that light shine, no matter who or what has anything to say about it. Alrighty, bye. Have a nice rest of your day or night. Hi everyone, this is for pile number 2, those who chose the card Life Force Energy. Isn't that a beautiful card? Alright, I'm going to reveal. This is the card I chose. It's so beautiful. Look at the dolphins, all the colors. They could be the chakra colors, like all of them aligned. Look at the, grid lines above her and around her. Beautiful hair, hands raised up high, arms stretched. Beautiful, just beautiful. So that's what I'm getting from that card already. And I'm going to use the Beyond Lemuria book to read everything. It's going to be long, but, that's what we're here for right now. So number 34 breaks down to 7, which normally deals with, wisdom, higher knowledge, luck, like abundance maybe, so 34. Okay, it's long, but, All right, 34, Life Force Energy. Energy, mana, ana, or Aina, A-I-N-A. The rainbow spectrum, bright white light, Reiki, celebrating life, God force, optimal health, being vibrantly alive, thriving nature, conscious consumption, Eden, the body as a temple, bringing earth into balance, cell rejuvenation, the love of the land. All right, so that's what Life Force Energy means. Hopefully you got all that. It's a lot of, good thing, being vibrantly alive, the Eden, Garden of Eden. You believe in, the Bible and what it says. Bringing earth into balance, cell rejuvenation, God force. So your higher power, don't come on here and be mean, because you don't believe in God. It's all right. What happens when we seek to maximize the life force energy in everything we do? What happens when we seek to maximize the life force energy in everything we do? Towards the completion of this oracle deck, I was called to visit Hawaii. I heard it is known to be the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. This is the Beyond Lemuria deck. It's about the Lemurian people, and they were said to be Starseeds. One of the Starseeds, or have people related to Starseeds, or if you're interested in that type of study. And Lemuria was a place that was it was destroyed, and most of its inhabitants were dispersed all over the place. So some even say they're even related to aliens and stuff like that. So this is a good deck. If you guys ever wanted, this is a good deck. I'm not getting paid to advertise. She needs to pay me though. Just kidding. But anyway, I'm not really, because we all gotta eat. But anyway, it was a place that was destroyed by invaders, because these inhabitants, these people of Lemuria, they had their own land. And they said part of it, already we know a part of it was in Hawaii, so Hawaii's big, so imagine if they had just 10 times as much as Hawaii is now. Hawaii is small compared to other places, but it's not really that small. It's actually a big island, to be an island, or a place that they consider an island. It's a state according to technicalities, of course. But please don't come after me if I don't know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to that, because I don't know all the history. I'm just collecting my context clues about what I studied about Lemuria and places like Hawaii and other islands as well. So, but I don't know everything. But they were these people who really tuned into light codes, and those are basically downloads or spiritual guidance or visions that we get, even dreams, and they really tapped into that, like our Egyptian people. They tapped into what the stars and the suns, the moon, all the planets could give us as well. They used gold, they used things without technology, to tap into nature and spirituality. So the Lemurian people were pretty much just like that, and based on how she's drawing the Lemurian people, I'm thinking about Avatar. I've never seen the movie fully because that movie is long. Ain't it long? But anyway, it's long, and I haven't been able to sit through and watch it fully. And I really do want to, because it seems like it has a lot of messages. I just haven't had the time. But I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day. And I know I'm going to like it. And I'm probably going to want to always watch it. So that was a little tidbit about Lemurian people. Hopefully that clears up a little bit and makes you want to even go research a little bit more. It's reminding me of how in the Bible, in Babylonia, where God was like, yeah, mix up their languages, they're not going to be able to understand each other, disperse them all over the world. And then they all went all over the world. It was after they were trying to build a tower up to God or something like that. And he took away their community, so it's reminding me of that. It's also reminding me of the Black Wall Street. I can't remember the actual name for it, but in Tulsa, when we had a thriving black community where we didn't need anyone. We were sufficient on our own. And whoever naysayers, I'm not gonna put anyone on blast or say any particular race did it, because anybody could have done it. Naysayers are people who didn't like the power or the independence that this town had. They came and bombed it with bombs and airplanes, and took all the businesses away, and it just got crazy. So that's what this is reminding me of when I think about the fall of Lemuria. It's sad to get whole galaxies and things taken away from us, and but sometimes it is for the best. Like even in the Bible, when Lot's wife was told not to turn around or she'll turn into salt, and she did, because the land that they were leaving was being destructed. So if you're gonna go try to be a part of that again, whether it's even just by paying attention to it, you're gonna turn into what they basically turned into, salt. Maybe not really salt, but not able to live anymore or move forward. So that's my little tidbit. Sorry if you didn't want to hear that. Sorry. So let me just start over. I'm going to start over. What happens when we seek to maximize the life force energy in everything we do? Towards the completion of this oracle deck, I was called to visit Hawaii. I heard it is known to be the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. So it was a whole continent. I'm thinking it's just a country, but it's a whole continent. So it's bigger than the United States, because the United States is not a continent. It's part of a continent. It's part of North America. So, wow, yeah, it's bigger. I know it's bigger than the United States at least. So, I went to I heard it is the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. I went with the open mind and was sincerely blown away by the incredible level of life force energy radiated there. I'm an avid traveler and seeker of high vibrational places, but I have never experienced such potency of the magic, the main inspiration of my art, in every cell of every bright green leaf. So everywhere she saw this magic. I could sense the songs of Lemuria in this pristine place. Well, hopefully it's joyful songs, but I think of sadness because it was destroyed. I discovered I had been dreaming of this place my whole life. The crystalline waterfalls, rainbow diffused skies, exotic flowers, the opulent plant life was so present that you couldn't help but see a radiant aura around everything. Aina, A-I-N-A, I hope I'm saying that right, is a Hawaiian term for energy and sacred land. Yes. Okay. Thinking about people taking people's land is making me mad, because now when you think about that, it's like people are trying to take over sacred land. Ooh, God is not going to be pleased. Your creator, your higher power is not pleased. Anyway, Aina is a Hawaiian term for energy and sacred land. It seemed to me that Mana and Aina are one of the same. Mana is M-A-N-A and Aina is A-I-N-A again. One day I was sitting on the red sand beach and I had a vision of an overlaying dimension that spanned our physical world. This overlay was the God force or life force in its purest and highest vibration. The vision presented an array of objects familiar to this physical plane, from lower vibrational concrete, processed chemicals, and suffering imbued consumable to the higher biodynamic earthly offerings and the vibrant lands that surrounded me at the moment. So I'm going to read that again. Sound choppy. The vision presented an array of objects familiar to this physical plane, from lower vibrational concrete, processed chemicals, and suffering imbued consumables to the higher biodynamic earthly offerings and the vibrant lands that surround me at the moment. Hopefully you got that. The experience imprinted the depths of my being with the remembering that we can bring this beautiful blue planet back to its former glory, starting with our own temples and personal pieces of Eden. I realized that maximizing one's life force energy was the gateway to bridging heaven and earth. By aligning our choices with this higher frequency, we will naturally create more opportunities to ground this somehow forgotten light. Let me read that again. By aligning our choices with this higher frequency, we will naturally create more opportunities to ground this somehow forgotten light. When we know the joy of this life force within and around us and are vibrantly alive, we can't help but inspire others to choose the same. Cool. Divinatory meaning. It is time for celebration. Revel in the bliss of being alive. This is an incredible healing card packed with luminous life force energy for optimal health and healing. It reminds you to seek the joy and upliftment in everything you do, as much as is possible. That's how she wrote it. Consider the foods you eat, the environments you spend your time in, the people in your life, and even the things you wear. Increase your awareness of their journey and how they came to be in your world and their energetic resonance. Are they alive and vibrant? You may also be inspired to work with healing energies such as Reiki, or however you want to say it, or with the land, perhaps to grow vegetables. You are encouraged to joyously make your life a piece of Eden. As a result, you will shine with vitality. That was beautiful. Sorry for my interrupted stories. Hopefully you got the message out of it. The life force energy, the God force, whatever you want to call it, call him, her, all of it. I believe in the Father, Mother, and Son. So the divine family, the Holy Trinity. I believe the Mother is the Holy Spirit. I believe the Son is the Son. And which is really the sun, you know, the sun in the sky. And then the Father is the protector, the provider, you know, God himself, you know. But he has his team as well. So that's what I got from that. Thank you so much for being with me so far. And now we're going to get to our tarot cards to clarify. And to clarify the card, the life force energy. And I'm going to set it out, set the intention for past, present, future, 3 different groups. I may have more than 1 card in each group. I take no more than 3. What I really like about the past, knowing about your past, is something you overcame and, you know, you worked on, you had the victory in, even if it's bad, you know, like, so it could be a good thing, and it works together with the present, because now you can use those past things to help you deal with your present issues, and then the future is to see what's coming, or, you know, perhaps know what you have to do to get, you know, from the present to the future. So that's why I'm setting it out this way. You may have other readers do it differently, but that's okay too. But that's how I do it. So, alrighty. So what do we? And I also shuffled the picker cards with the intention of self-love and healing. So, right now on this life force energy card, I'm getting healing the joy in your life, going after what you want, celebrating. You know, like so. That's also the past, present, and future cards are going to detail that. So I'm going to shuffle them with the intention of giving us messages about self-love and healing. All right. Ooh. 1 fell on the floor. I mean 2. Whew. Okay. 10 of Swords and 4 of Swords. I'm going to take both of them. Because 10 of Swords, if I picked it up down, but, no, I saw it down, or something like that, but whatever. It's up, you know, but it really fell up. So that's why I'm taking it like that. So, yeah, so we have the 4 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. So maybe in the past you were healing, because the 4 of Swords is a healing card, and maybe talking about healing, maybe going to counseling, and it maybe came from the Lord of Ruin, you know, like it came from the 10 of Swords, which is, you know, the Lord of Ruin, and it looks like the sun's at the top of this card, so maybe you were resting from, you know, being the sun exposed your stuff, so maybe exposing, maybe someone was exposed to you, maybe some situation was exposed to you that really, you know, stabbed you in the back. You know, the 10 of Swords is having a lot of weight on your shoulders, you know, being stabbed in the back and stuff like that. So maybe in the past you're healing from that, or should heal from that, if it did happen in the past. And I'm seeing Jupiter in the 4 of Swords, so maybe you're going to have good luck in healing that. So yeah, so Knight of Cups. So the Knights represent fire energy, because they're like, if you have kids, you know, they're full of energy. So when I see a Knight, I think about fire and, you know, energy. Even after reading about Knights, that they do represent energy. But yeah, so the Knight of Cups right now, it's reversed. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe you're healing from all this passion, you know, maybe all the bad things that are happening, you're healing from that, and taking things slow. I do see a peacock here at the top, and the crab. So crab is about home, stability, you know, emotions. The moon is ruled by Cancer. It also rules the High Priestess card, but Cancer is here. So, and it is a cups and emotions, so that's probably why. But, you know, the peacock represents fertility. It also creates, is related to water as well. But it also relates to wealth. So maybe, you know, you're dealing with, you know, healing your financial issues, and it's here to say, like, you're on your way, you know, you're on your way to healing your financial issues, if not already, you know. So because this is a present energy card. So my last card is, ooh, that came right out, the future. Last Judgment. Judgment, the card Judgment, I want to say, I see your Uranus here, but you're out of that. So, well, it's reversed. So, Judgment upright means, you know, being really judged in a hot seat, you know, shining a light on issues, you know, or facing atonement. But it's reversed. So perhaps, hopefully, that means you're gonna be able to move through the judgment and later, you know. Hopefully it's gonna work in your favor. Maybe the reverse means it's unfavorable, but, you know, we're gonna be positive and, you know that maybe we're even removing judgment from our lives, you know, from this past, present, future, you know, whatever the situation you're dealing with, whether it's hurt, pain, and, you know, family issues, the new family that you created if you have kids, or, you know, the family you were born into, maybe they have issues that need to be healed, and you may have to go to court or something, you know. So hopefully that Judgment card means good, you know, good fortune coming from it, because you'll make it through it, you know. So maybe what we have to do is heal our emotions to get from the Knight of Cups. We need to get to, you know, calmer waters, you know, not be so fiery and stuff like that. And, you know, in preparation for your judgment, you know. So whether it's being judged by God, you know, spirit, ancestors, you know, your prayer life, you know, you wishing judgment on people, giving judgment to people, and bad fortune on people. So maybe it could be all of that. So, but I'm getting even though I'm seeing, you know, reversals, I'm getting a good feeling about this card. And just to be clear about the Knight of Cups, I'm going to read the meaning out the book, since we're currently going through the Knight of Cups. Yes, currently going through the Knight of Cups. Alright, so the meaning. So reverse, the meaning means untruthful, sensual, idle, and subtlety, and artifice. So maybe you're dealing with fake people right now, you know, sensual people who only want to think about pleasing their senses or their self, or, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, to get it up right, maybe to heal it, you could think about the words being graceful, poetic, enthusiastic, if aroused, Venusian, like Venus. So Venus means love, and indolent. I'm not really sure what that means, you know. Hopefully you could teach me something by looking it up and posting it in the comments. But yeah, so, and a proposal. So someone's coming out their their shyness, and maybe gonna propose to you. And maybe the last judgment, because the judgment it don't have to always be quarter, you know, someone in a hot seat. It could be, you know, being judged before God, or gathering before God, you know, give me your all to God, replenishment. You know, these three figures are coming out, rising out of their tombs, you know. So it could be that, you know, a good thing. So yeah, so that's what's currently going on. And to close out this reading, I'm gonna pull How to Love Yourself card, since this reading is surrounded about around love and healing. And I'm ready. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, I always do that. And I thought I took these out. Sorry, I let the cards that aren't supposed to be in there, like the inserts, I was shuffling those too. And it was trying to come out. So like, yeah, let them know about me. About getting these cards. It's way more than 3, but I'm just going to take the top one. So, it says, I am open and receptive to all good. Like this, it's better. All good. I know it's backwards. But yeah, so. Alright, that's the last bit of this card. Hopefully you enjoyed your reading and got something good out of it. Thank you so much for being in this far. I'm putting that last one down just in case you want to take a screenshot or something. Yeah, so. Yeah, thank you so much again for being here, trusting me to be your reader, sticking with me, bearing with me. I'm so appreciative. And I ask that you continue shining your light. I'm wishing you the utmost best, all the blessings you are to receive in the world. Thank you again, and I love you. I'm sending love, positivity. We're choosing to focus on all the good, receiving good, all this, even good judgments. You know, there's a reversal means someone else is going to get the bad judgment, not you. So we're going to set that intention. Alrighty, thank you again so much for working with me and being here. And I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day. Have a marvelous one. And please keep shining your light. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. Hi. The pile number 3s, I feel like when I watch them somewhere else, they don't get the same justice. So I took extra care to try to cleanse the energy. I even prayed again. You know, I prayed over the whole reading, but prayed again. I don't know which one is better because I'm recording it on my phone. But hopefully you can see this. Card number 3 is 41, the Realm Bridger. Angel number 41 breaks down to a 5. Pile number 1 was number 5 too. It broke down to another number 5. And so that's good. The beginning and the end is reminding me of God when he says you're the head, not the tail, above and all, and not beneath, you know. He's the Alpha and the Omega, you know, like, so that's what that's reminding me of. Look at her. She's looking bored. Like, man, I've been waiting this whole time. But she's looking like graceful. She's just watching and waiting, it looks like. And it looks like patience. So maybe we need to work on our patience. And Realm Bridgers. So even being patient with that, you know, our healing. I shuffled these cards with the intention of giving us messages about healing, so our self-love and healing, and maybe we need to pay attention to our spirituality. I don't know yet, but I'm going to read the book for this description of the card. And also angel number 41 is a really popular number, so it could mean that your prayers are being answered and, you know, the angels hear you. Sorry again if I'm doing it wrong, but yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna read the card. I'm gonna read the book, and it's coming from the Beyond Lemuria book. I didn't tell Pal 1 about Lemuria, but those of you who don't know, the little bit I know about it, it's a land that was destroyed by invaders and, you know, naysayers. And it was a continent, actually. So it's even bigger than the United States. The United States is just a country, you know, a part of a continent. North America. But Lemuria was its own continent, and it was destroyed. And the people the survivors who were left over, they went to all different parts of the world, and they went to all different parts of the world, speaking different languages. So it's not really like, we don't really acknowledge these ancestors because they're not really considered existing, because they blended in with everybody else. So they don't look at Lemuria as its own ethnicity even, and from what I understand, it's also a continent created to starseeds. It probably was its own starseed, I believe there is a Lemurian starseed group, you're into star systems and stuff like that. But I don't know too much about it. I'm just, mentioning. And those starseed beings, so they could even be aliens that we would call aliens today, because, no one established their real existence, or their real existence was destroyed. And these beings, they, really tapped into light codes, like in Egypt, how in Egypt, or the Egyptian age, our ancient ancestors in Egypt, and those parts of places. I just say Egypt because we know the pyramids and stuff there. So, sorry, this incense. I'm gonna blow it out in a minute, but I wanted to get it started. But yeah, so in Egypt they use the sun, moon, stars, and every astrology to guide them and focus on their spirituality. They use numbers, hieroglyphics. The pyramids itself emitted energy, and all of this was done without technology. So Lemurian people were like that with light codes, and like they would receive downloads and visions. That's what we call them today. Downloads, visions, dreams even, and they use those, they use that to, what is it called? To move, to be productive in their society, because this land was very productive. They were independent. They didn't need anyone. They did everything on their own. They didn't need anyone to trade with. They had people who utilized their talents. And as we learned in card number 2, Lemuria was said to also be a small part of Hawaii, or Hawaii is a small part of what's left over of Lemuria. So if you're attracted to Hawaii, that could be indicating why. You may have even ancestors that occupied that land, not just from a Hawaiian perspective, but Lemuria, so even if you don't look Hawaiian, or you don't feel connected to that group of people, maybe that's why. It's because it's like the land of Hawaii was also inhabited by these people. And I think of, I think of Lemuria, or the destroying of Lemuria, like the Tulsa bombings, the Oklahoma Tulsa bombings, and Black Wall Street. I think about that because in those places we were as a Black African American, whatever you want to call us, indigenous person, we were operating our own city and independent just as well. And some naysayers, I don't know who, I'm not going to say any colors or anything, because it could have been anyone, and they came in and dropped bombs on the land and destroyed all the businesses, and made people disperse just as well. Like in the Bible, the Tower of Babylon, the tower that they try to create to go up to heaven or something like that. They try to build it for heaven, and God got angry and said, I'm gonna disperse your people and confuse you guys with different languages and stuff. So it's all this is making me think about that type of stuff. It doesn't have to relate. But that's how I get a better understanding of it, to be able to relate it to certain things. You don't have to believe in the Bible, and you don't have to believe anything it says in the Bible. That's okay. That's okay. Please don't come for me if I'm not doing anything or saying anything that is according to your beliefs. So I'm going to read. After all of that, I didn't want to interrupt it like I did on PAL 2 because we came across Lemuria or Hawaii and Lemuria, and I ended up interrupting the description, so I wanted to get the description out the way first. And I'm sorry, PAL 1, that I didn't describe it. Hopefully you saw one of the other PALs and you were able to get some of this knowledge and information. But yeah, so 41 breaks down to number 5. 5 normally means transformation. Even could be healing, creativity, Leos, Alrighty. 41, the Realm Bridger. Visionaries, architects of the future, information from other realms, bridging the seen with the unseen. Inspiration, seeding a new earth, traversing different states of consciousness, birthing ideas from subtle reality, and journeying. So, bridging the seen with the unseen, that's what I'm thinking. That's what stuck out to me. And traversing different states of consciousness. So, dealing with different realms again, seeding a new earth. So, some type of new world. All right. Have you ever felt that there is more than meets the eye in the perception we call reality? That there is more going on behind the scenes? Do you ever glimpse beyond your physical senses and wonder if what they perceive is just the tip of the iceberg? Do you ever glimpse beyond your physical senses and wonder if what they perceive is just the tip of the iceberg? Do you ever get visions or insights just as you are falling off to sleep? Do you dream in colors that are more vibrant than you have experienced in waking life? And that's what this card, the second card, really showed me the different colors. But yeah. As you raise your vibration and explore different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you may have believed only happens in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of the subtle realities. Through meditation and journeying, I thought about journals. We invite a greater awareness of the subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring forth pioneering ideas, creativity, and to explore the edges of the universe. This card is about bridging the seen and the unseen. What did I say? Intuitive painting is my method of connection, but the ability to crystallize the normally intangible can manifest in other ways. Anchoring the collective, dreaming for a new future is not out of reach as we may think. Anchoring the collective, dreaming for a new future is not as out of reach as we may think. Just as water's changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can catch the intangible in other form. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can catch the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even maths can form the path of the visionary. See, Lemurian people, they use those things, and our ancient ancestors did too. And even Harriet Tubman, when they used the North Star to escape from slavery, we use those type of codes. Once these visions are in the minds and hearts of many, it can merge into matter. These blueprints can go to the architects, and the idea becomes physicalized. It is time to dream outside the box. It is time for the inventors, the artists, the poets, the visionary leaders to step forward and collectively dream in a new future. It is time to dream outside the box. It is time for the inventors, the artists, the poets, and the visionary leaders to step forward and collectively dream in a new future. Divinatory meaning. You are the pioneer of your life. The way forward may be in your dreams or visions. You may find it useful to do automatic writing. See, I did mention journaling earlier. Or intuitive drawing to capture some of the more lucid information. Be creative and don't take on the opinions of others. It's time to think and do a whole other way. After all, as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I actually love that quote because it reminds me to not do the same thing over and over again. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I could try something different. Even if it sounds crazy, I'm going to try something different because of that quote. So those of you have never heard it before, I'm going to read it again. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You can't do that. All right? So that's what the Realm Bridger is about. I hope that gave you something. You know, I like what this deck gives me, you know, when I read about it, because it not only gives me just information or, you know, stuff about the cards, it gives me insight to even how things were created, you know, information that I didn't know or really pay attention to. So I really like this deck. I would recommend it. See, I'm advertising for you, Izzy Ivy. I think that's her whole name. Yeah, Izzy Ivy. See, you see this, you better give me some money. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, girl. You awesome. I love it. She opens up a lot in this book, and I like how she incorporates the stories in that, you know. I was thinking about doing my own deck, and I was going to do something similar to this. So to see this and, you know, see that it's actually possible, it encourages me and inspires me. Of course, I'm not going to jack your style, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something different overall. So we'll see, you know, if God blesses me and puts that in his will, I'll definitely do that. Alrighty, so that's that. And to clarify, I just saw 101 in my recording, so that's a good thing. Normally when you see like one, I'm sorry, I shook the camera. Anyway, normally when you see 1-1, I think of doors, or I think of spirit in general, you know, 11-11 and all that type of stuff, because it could be, you know, saying that you were right in what you were just saying or thinking or something like that. So that encouraged me to see the 11-11. It's like, yeah, you have a gateway maybe, you know, gateway, a doorway. You just got to walk through the door. So that's what I'm thinking about. He could be saying something different. It's all right, though. Alrighty. I just got a notification. It says, in love with this and him too. Look at that. The universe. See, y'all don't gotta believe in God. Y'all could just believe in things happening out of, you know, nowhere, you know. And I don't even know what that's talking about. It's on TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok yet, you know. My son, he gets on there because you can still get on there. Oh, shoot, my battery's dying. So I'm going to have to hold this one. Okay. So, yeah, he gets on there, but I don't normally know how to do it. Oh, all right, so I'm going to shuffle these cards with the intention of past, present, future energy. 3 groups. I have 2 already. I don't want this to stop on us. So the last group will have 2. Not rushing. Okay, so the past energy is 10 of Wands. The present energy is 5 of Cups. And the third energy, the future energy is Queen of Swords and the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is normally an offering, you know, but we're out of that. It's reversed. So 10 of Wands is when you've been battered, bruised, and, you know, you're holding on, you know, like it's so much going on. But I'm thinking about energy, positive energy, but also negative energy as well. But you're coming out of that, or that's what you triumphed over. That's what a good thing about a past energy is. Then Five of Cups is what we're currently looking at now. Maybe you had some type of loss, and in the normal card it's like you lost you lost 3 cups and you still have 2 left, maybe not appreciating what you have right now. And it says the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. So basically, it could be that you're not even appreciating the pleasure that's all around you. And then the Queen of Swords, the future. So Queen of Swords, she don't play. So she has all this energy, but then queens are all nurturers, and they are nurturers. But the Queen of Swords she coming with her mouthpiece. She's speaking the truth. So right now you may not even be talking about your losses, or in the future it may be probably beneficial for you to talk about your losses and stand up for yourself and defend yourself. And then the Four of Cups, clarifying those Queen of Swords, it's in reverse. So it normally means blended pleasure. You're getting a love offering from God or the universe, whoever you want to classify it as. You're looking bored, but you're out of that. So maybe you are being more appreciative of, what's being presented to you. See, we're coming from unappreciation to appreciative. So that's looking good. So that's your past, present, future energy. And to close off the reading, I have a self-love card to match up the whole thing. Alrighty. Sorry if that didn't make sense. I just don't want this camera to die on you, and then you might get the message. So what do we have to learn about self-love? This one wanted to come out. There is no need to struggle to be better. All I need to do is love myself more today than yesterday and treat myself as someone who is deeply loved. Oh, that's beautiful. There's no need to struggle to be better. All that I need to do is love myself today more than yesterday. Treat myself as someone who is deeply loved. I'm going to give you an extra one. I am good enough. Someone needs to hear that. Alrighty, so thank you so much for sticking with me this far. If you watched all 3 piles, thank you tremendously, Thank you so much for trusting me to be your readers. Thank you so much for your support, your love, your strength, even your empowerment. If you are cheering me on, thank you. And I ask that, God continues to send you all the blessings, your higher power, the universe. You receive the abundance in all good forms, and not let these energies get to you. And hopefully you take all the healing messages and, act on them, knowing that we are realm bridgers. There's something outside of what meets the eye, and, connect more to that spirituality. Maybe, you're focusing too much on something that isn't bringing you, satisfaction, and we could probably move another way. The present card of 5 of Cups is right there. So, and normally I read the present card, so I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, hopefully it don't die on me. The meaning of that is death or end of pleasure, partial loss, disappointment, sorrow, treachery, sadness, deceit, ill will, detraction. So that's what we're going through right now. And then reverse, it means charity, hope, kindness, new alliance. So we're working to get that reverse, so we can welcome all our charity, generosity, kindness, new alliances and relationships if we need that. So yeah, cups deal with relationships and emotions, so that makes sense. Hopefully that supplies some type of more guidance and clarity into your life about it. But thank you again so much, and have a blessed day. Keep conquering the world, shining your light bright, walking in your truth, the Queen of Swords says she's the truth. So yeah, we're gonna walk in that so we can get there in the future. Alrighty, bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.